Welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast, your go-to source for everything on the Las Vegas Raiders. Whether you're a diehard motherfucker like me, or just getting to know Raider Nation, our passionate hosts are here to bring you all the excitement on Raiders football. I'm Shit Show Joe, and welcome to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. Let's go, Raiders! If not, fuck your team!
And welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. We are here for our Black Hole edition with the Cisco Kid. How are you today, my brother?
I'm well, my man. How are you?
Good, brother. Yo, so guys, we are blessed to have the Cisco here. We are all TBH members, and Cisco is now going to use this platform to communicate with all members, so that way if you guys have any questions, thoughts, concerns, or any events that's going on with the Black Hole, we will be giving it to you guys live right here every Monday. I believe the Cisco Kid will have some special guests from time to time. He will also have chapter presidents come on, and he will be addressing all your thoughts and concerns. And Cisco Kid, take it away, my brother.
Well, first and foremost, Brother Will, man, thank you so much for having me on and coming up with this idea. I think it's great. It's long overdue, to be to be quite honest. It's something we should have came up with a long time ago. I mean, we had something a few years ago, the Black Hole Unleashed podcast. A couple of great guys did a phenomenal job, but times change, people move, people shift, and we had to shut it down. But man, again, Silver and Black Radio Podcast, you guys been doing a great job, and I really am honored to be on, man.
No, thank you, brother. Salute to you, man. Hey, Cisco, you are, I believe, can you give us your title for TBH right now? I'll be like, I know we call you the CEO Clubs. I call you, I'll be like, the Cisco Kid. I'll be like, we call you the Admiral. I'll be like, so what is the official title at TBH?
Just don't call me late for dinner. I guess my official title now, then since the team kind of relocated out here, we never called Oakland a chapter, right? It was kind of like the mothership. So we kind of moved in that same way here in Vegas. So now I'm kind of technically like the director of chapters and merchandise. So anything having to do with memberships, things of that nature, and the chapters. But obviously, as you know, you see me around when you come to town. I kind of got my finger on the pulse of pretty much everything that we do. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. And Cisco, I think we're up to 43 clubs right now, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a couple pending still, but yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you're in charge of 43 different clubs. Man, how do you manage all these 43 clubs? What strategies have you come up to implement with the Black Hole this year in order to, take on those challenges?
Well, great question. It was very difficult for a time. It was easy in the beginning, but as we grew, it became more and more challenging. I felt something needed to be done to give you guys that outlet, man, of communication. Obviously, we're worldwide. We're nationwide. So when I'm getting ready for bed, other guys are getting up. When I'm asleep, they're getting up. So it was hard to reach out and communicate with everyone. So we came up with this, what we feel is a great idea of getting a few of you chapter presidents. You are one of them, and we're calling them trustees. And you guys help me out. You guys are my left and right hand. You guys reach out to the clubs, any concerns, questions, things that they need answers or want to know about, they filter it up to you guys. Then you guys come to me and I give you the answers if you don't know them already. And so far, I feel it's been working pretty well. You told me some pros and some cons that are going on right now, and the pros outweigh the cons. So I feel it's a good stepping stone that we're on right now. We're just going to continue to grow that, and let's do what we do.
Absolutely. And you've been with the black hole since the start, I believe, right? Almost. I mean, like, I think.
I became an actual member in 1998, a couple years after
Okay.
it officially started in 95. I guess you could say my elevation into where I am today started probably around 2000. It's right on the cusp of like 2009, 2010, when Rob started asking me to help out. It initially started out with our annual kickoff party, our home opener kickoff party, and it kind of grew from there. And we ultimately became his VP, was in charge of chapters, overseeing the merchandise, coming up with ideas for our annual, membership T-shirt for the new year, coming up with packages, what we're going to include in those packages, our events, our parties, our tailgate. That's all I was doing back then was pretty much everything. It was a Rob and Cisco show for quite some time, and then now we moved to Vegas. Obviously, a bigger city than Oakland. It's the world, the capital of what is this?
Entertainment capital of the world, baby.
Yeah, entertainment capital of the world. Sorry, man. It's been a long day at work. But yeah, and so, we knew we had to step up our game. So we, with the help of Mark coming back on board, he kind of filled that void filled that seat that Rob had, for many, many years. He's doing a phenomenal job with that. So we're happy, we're grateful, and, just helping him succeed and continue to grow the club. And we brought up some people on board to help us out, doing that. We got a web guy, we got a merchandise guy, and, we all put our heads together and put stuff together for the nation, for the Black Hole family to enjoy, and we're going to continue to do so.
No, absolutely. And I mean, like, from what it sounds like, it takes a massive team to run this thing, man. And it sounds like a lot of communication, a lot of teamwork has to happen in order for this thing to run
Oh, yeah.
smoothly.
It
So,
is, and we're not perfect, man. We got some kinks. I'm not going to lie. Every company has kinks. Every club has kinks. Everything has a kink. You just got to find the solution to the problem, resolve it, and continue to move forward and learn from it. And that's what we're doing, on a daily basis. Like I said, we're not perfect. And some of those non-perfect things I'm going to address today. So hopefully that'll help in a lot of ways. But yeah, we're not perfect, but we do our best. We're not just sitting around on our thumbs, kicking around, not caring. We do care, and we value everybody in the family, and we want to continue to grow the family. But in order to do that, we got to get things right, and we're doing our best to get there.
that's what I love to hear, man. So, I'm going to go back a little bit in our conversation. I want you to talk a little bit about your relationship with Black Hole Rob, man. I mean, like, we just made some videos for our local clubs and local chapters that we'll be distributing. So that way they can do the Raider pledge at their locations with, a little bit of extra pepper for them. But man, I was telling you, I watched the video and I can tell the love and the respect that you and Rob have for each other. So talk to me a little bit about that relationship, man, and like how he's helped the Cisco kid become the man he is today.
Um, Man, I'll try and get through this without getting emotional, but
Hey, bro, wear your heart on your
Rob,
sleeve because that's how the Cisco kid does it, baby.
Yeah, no, we had a little emotional weekend a couple weekends back when his lovely wife Rachel, who I love and adore, and the two princesses, Naomi and Natalie, came to town to kind of honor their father. Come out, and it was wonderful to have them here. It was great. It was a tearjerker. It was tears of joy, tears of sadness. Remembering my brother, remembering her husband, the girl's father. Rob was a great guy. He was definitely a major uh, factor in who I became with the Black Hole. He mentored me, gave me a lot of advice. Kind of taught me the Black Hole way. Really. It's funny. We belong to a club, a grassroots group, I will say, called Save Oakland Sports. Save it. It was called SOS. And that was formed by, again, a group of guys that were diehard Oakland football, basketball, and baseball fans. And there was talks of, obviously the Raiders moving, the Warriors possibly moving, and the A's. And we didn't want that. So this group was formed. I was told about it and I joined. And Rob was one of the members. And when we would get together at the Red Lion Inn in Oakland on Hagenberger, we'd all kind of do a roll call, introduce ourselves, where we're from, who we are. And he didn't like me because I was from San Francisco. And he always had a big thing. He would always call it San Francisco. And it was fine, but that was his thing. And, we grew that. We grew that. The more we got involved in our meetings and our get-togethers, he got to see who I was, and then he learned a little bit about my background. What I do in sales. He was in sales himself, but from the entertainment standpoint and things that I've helped put together, I had a promotion, an entertainment company many many years ago, and we did that. We had all 80s dance and early hip hop artists perform, and we did shows coast to coast. And he got wind of it and was like, "What? Like, these people?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got here. I'll call them right now," kind of thing. And he was like, "What? I can't believe that." And so he's like, "Dude, uh, I'm gonna need your help." So that was a major thing in getting me, I guess, elevated to where I am today. But then, we got to know more about each other, and it went from not just being Black Hole Raider related, but "Hey, bro, you like boxing?" I said, "Yeah," and we'd talk about boxing. Then it went from that to, "Hey, man, there's that fight Saturday. Why don't you come on over?" And I was like, "Okay," So I'd take the ride from San Francisco over to Hayward, and we'd be in his garage with all the guys and hanging out. And it grew from that. And then it went from that to, "Hey, man, my family's coming into town from Hawaii. We're going to be making pokey and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, all right." So I felt honored, that it went beyond that. And we just grew our friendship into a tight brotherhood where, I loved the man loved me. And I knew his family, he knew mine, and we just grew this bond. And we were there for each other through sad times, good times, personal issues, Raider issues, the good and the bad. And I miss him dearly. I just hope that the decisions and the direction that we're going, uh, he's pleased with. I'm hoping that. I'm hearing that from his wife and some of the old OG Black Hole guys, that hey, you're doing a great job out there, and we're proud of you. So hearing things like that, it does make me feel good. It does make me feel good. And I'm just here to continue that legacy that Rob and the rest of the guys created. So yeah.
Hey, man, I love it, bro. That legacy is the reason that I decided to join the Black Hole. That stuff that you talk about, man, family, when you get invited over for a barbecue when you're like, hey man, I got my kid's birthday, come over. It goes from watching the game and just
Yeah.
like, to like, hey, every day. Like I call my boys every day, and I met them through our Raider stuff, and I'm like, yo, I know we get together 16 Sundays a week, but what other interests do we have? And now my
Right.
wife hangs out with their wives, or your girl hangs out with their girl, or
Right.
their kids call you uncle, or something like that, man, where you're building those relationships. And that's what I love about the black hole, man. It's everywhere,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
they
mean,
do.
Rachel calls me brother-in-law because she was like, you were Rob's brother, so that makes you my brother-in-law. So it's feels good to know that.
Hey, I love that, man. And you said something to me when I first met you, man. You were like, it's all about a family. It's all about us being together and us, going through hard times and through good times together. And you guys definitely exemplify that relationship. And as you say, the legacy of that relationship lives through you, my friend, because you definitely keep those relationships going with other black hole presidents. And I truly do appreciate that, my brother.
Thank
So,
you. Well, I'm glad you guys are who you are and that we are where we are. I mean, again, going back to we're not perfect. We are family, and I'm sure everyone listening, uh, we argue with our family. There's things our family members do that we don't like or don't agree with or get upset with, but we're family and we work it out. So yeah, I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. We toast and cheer and slap high fives and hug each other on the good times. And other times we got to say, hey, man, give me a call. I got to talk to you. I'm a little bothered by this, or I'm a little upset by that. And we hash it out. That's what people do. It's called communication. Communication is key. And, as long as we continue to do that, we'll be okay. We'll be fine.
absolutely, absolutely, brother. All right, brothers. So we've talked about the relationship you've had with Rob and how this thing has, kind of grown to where it's at now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on out in Raider Nation with the black hole, with everybody. There's sometimes we are impersonated. There's sometimes people put stuff out there that, really doesn't go with stuff, right? So let me ask you this. When you look at a black hole event and you look at, all the members that come in and you see, I'd be like, I know you see Raiders fans every Sunday for 8 weeks at least. And I think sometimes you travel to two or three away games. So
Yeah.
when you see that and you see people come in and show love to the organization, that you've been there with the grassroots, that they show that pride in being a part of TBH. How does that make you feel, my brother?
Oh man, I mean, it it's funny. I should say it more often. That's one of my flaws. But when the opportunity does come up, I do. I've said it to you. I've said it to numerous that I appreciate you guys dearly. Um, I wouldn't be here without you guys. Honestly. So it is. It is. I can't put it to words other than it does bring a big smile to my face. It warms my heart to see and walk around events and places and see that black hole logo on somebody's back or chest or their head rocking a hat. Um, there's been times when I've sat and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Um, how did we get this far? How did we get this big? But yeah, it is special. It really is special, and I'm very happy and honored to be a part of it. I really am.
Oh, hey, man, we're glad to hear that, my brother. And now, guys, we are actually going to transition into the next part of our show where we're going to talk a little Raiders football with the Cisco Kid. All right, my brother. Yeah, so we just got done talking a little black hole. little stuff about how, we got things going on and how it got kicked off. Now, my brother, the Cisco Kid, you have been with the Raiders organization for a long time, baby. Now, man, this is another rough season we're having. And as you know, man, rough seasons, they hurt. And I'd be like, hey,
Yes.
man, as a fan, you have gatherings, we have get togethers. You see numbers dwindle. All you see is the diehards out there. So,
Yeah.
bad as the season is going on, Cisco, brother, tell me how you feel. Tell me what you see.
The wind has done left my sails. Coming in April, in May, I was feeling really good. I was feeling really good based on how we ended the season. And talking to the people I know in football and in sports talk and all that good stuff, I was really juiced about this upcoming season. I think I felt like we finally are going to get over that hump. We had great pieces in place. But unfortunately, a couple decisions were made that I feel derailed that and took the wind out of our sails. Uh, and literally pretty much docked our boat. It's not like we put the anchor out in the middle of the ocean. We just went and docked the damn boat is what we did. And I think it started with starting Minshew over O'Connell. I really do.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. All right.
I think that really uh, ticked off a few players, Devontae being one of them. Coaching staff was a little sketchy to me. Luke Getzey, I didn't really buy into him. I was like, okay, what did he do? What was Chicago? What offensive numbers were they putting up when he was with Chicago? I'm like, really? You know what I mean? But being Raiders being Raiders, I kind of felt the same way about John Gruden. I'm like, this dude was a quarterback coach and an offense coordinator for this team. I mean, like, what did they do? And he obviously turned us around. So, a lot of it, I was thinking, well, who did he have in Chicago to run? He's got A-list players on our squad, so I was thinking, okay, it's like, it's like having the keys to a Ferrari, but you don't know how to drive stick. So I was like, okay, maybe that's the situation with Getzey. Now he's got a Ferrari and he's got the keys and he knows how to drive stick. He just got to get out there and test drive it and see what's going on and make it happen. But unfortunately it didn't. Our offense, we did, get injuries, which every team does. I feel, and again, I'm not a coach. That's your headset and clipboard that you carry around during your off season, coaching football like you do. But when you get offensive linemen that are hurt, you got to make adjustments. And I felt the plays that were being called, we weren't giving our quarterback 5-6 seconds to throw the ball. He was only getting 2 and 3 seconds to throw the ball. That's where you got to adjust. You got to do some dump patterns. You got to do some quick slants. You got to do some cross routes, things of that nature. And none of that was happening. And it was frustrating. And our 2 wins showed that it wasn't working. So, those are the things that I look at and I'm like, man, it's bad. Do I like the new play calling that the Turner father and son are putting together, Norv and Scott? Yeah. I mean, there's been some creative stuff going on. I mean, when they did that fake punt, that I can remember, I think the last time I saw them do that was 2011 in Oakland versus Cleveland. It was the last time I saw a fake punt by the Raiders. So, I liked it. It was successful. We got a first down and we kept the chains moving. So I'm pleased with it. We'll yet to see towards the end of the season where we end up and what's going to happen with the coaching staff. There's obviously Probably has to make some changes. Changes could be putting permanent tags on the interns. Let's see what Scott can do. I know there's been an uproar of oh, we'll just get the draft pick. We'll just get the draft pick. We're gonna tank. I don't like that. Nobody plays to lose. Nobody wants to tank. Like what's going to happen? Okay, we get the number 1 pick. We're slated at getting the number 2 pick right now as it stands. If the season was to end, we're getting the number 2 overall pick. Hey, what's the big deal? We get the number 1. Shakur, Ward, my guy I got my eye on is Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. I mean, is this one guy going to be the savior? I mean, you don't know. I mean, there's been number 1 draft picks have been busts. Ryan Leaf, we've had our share. Jamarcus Russell. I mean, there's been a lot of busts that were in the top 5 pick. I mean, look at Lamar Jackson. He was the 32nd pick in the first round. Look at Brady. I mean, numerous great quarterbacks. We're late in the draft. There's very minimal that have been successful and been drafted high. So, there's a lot.
Absolutely.
I really honestly think, and I'll end it with this is I think we have our quarterback and he's wearing number 12. I mean, look at what he did after having weeks off on the road in a hostile environment. We won that game. We lost it ourselves. We lost the game ourselves. They didn't beat us. We lost the game ourselves. And I think Aiden played a hell of a game. His stats were better than Mahomes. So I think we got our quarterback, to be honest. I think what we need to do is stack and get some insurance, spend that money on some solid offensive linemen, get the things that we need on defense, whether it be another corner, shut down tackle, something, but I think Aiden is our guy. I think our Aiden is our guy. I think we could draft a quarterback. We do need some help, but we don't need a number 1 draft pick. We don't need a number 2 and number 3 overall, high dollar that we don't even know what the guy's made of and what he can do. The NFL is a different game. It's been proven. So, let's see what happens.
You know what, man? I could not agree with you more. I mean, like when you look at the situation with the Raiders at the moment, a lot of it has to do with coaching. A lot of it has to do with decisions that were made early in the season. And if you say, hey, if the players wanted AOC and you got Minshew and Minshew isn't performing, you could see that dissent. You have players coming out, having a team meeting saying, hey, we're struggling, we're not prepared, we're this. So when you come and you say, hey, man, I feel like we just didn't have the right play calls. We didn't adjust correctly. We made a lot of the things, a lot of mistakes. Do you feel like that's due to having a rookie head coach and those are rookie growing pains? Or do you feel like, hey, those should be solid expectations that should be held by any organization of their head coach, first year or regardless?
I'll say this. When it pertains to saying a rookie head coach, do I think he was prepared? No. But he built his coaching staff. We have 5 former head coaches on our coaching staff.
Correct.
What more help do you need? You are no longer, you're titled a rookie, but look at the resources you have. It does really, on that first down that we got that we didn't end up challenging, which could have changed the game there. Like, okay, Norv, you're in the box. You're upstairs. You saw where the first down was. You saw where our player past the first down marker, you got a headset on. You couldn't go down and say, hey, challenge that call. That was a first down. Got Marvin Lewis on the sideline. I mean, that's the part that I can't swallow that pill because it just makes no sense to me. That's where my frustrations are.
I agree with you. And I mean, like, you have a coach that is strictly for replays. And I mean, like, there's been so many calls this season that we haven't challenged, or that we have challenged that we were like, why did you challenge that? I'm looking at that. I don't know whether it's a time coach or quality something coach, that does it. I'm looking at that guy and saying, hey, man, how many mistakes can this guy make before you say, hey, I need another guy in that position?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So,
and
we get it.
I won't even get into the officiating, but that's a whole nother ball. That I mean, these guys got to they make a lot of money. They should be accountable.
Correct.
And I say, you know what? Just like you get reprimanded for making mistakes at work, these guys need to be reprimanded as well. Not just a letter from the NFL to the team say, oh, sorry, we blew that call. Well, that call blew our season.
Yep.
Well, that call tanked our morale. We no longer have that juice because we feel always getting the short end of the stick when it comes to the officiating in the game. Calls not being called. And no, I think it needs to go beyond that. It needs to these guys, you know what? Hey, that was a blown call. Okay. You didn't call a holding. Okay. But a first down, a touchdown, a bogus pass interference, a blown whistle. Okay. If the referee, that's what he gets paid all that money to do, right? Is referee a game. If he saw what he saw and he blew the whistle and was waving his hand saying it was a dead ball, then you know what? It's a dead ball.
Right.
You don't need to congregate and talk for 3-4 minutes, call upstairs. What was it? Okay, well, he did this, but he did that. No, he called the play. He called it a dead ball, waved his hands in the air, blew the whistle. That's what it is. Period.
Oh,
end of story.
I love it. I love it. I mean, like, if you look at this, all right, we go to Miami. The ref looks up at the replay board. The flag is thrown out. About 30 seconds later, bam, they make the play call. No explanation from the NFL. The NFL goes like, oh, we got it right, blah, blah, blah. I get it that you get it right. But at the same time, if you're saying that replay cannot assist officials in making a play call, then in that term right there, I have a lot of questions. On this game with the Chiefs, you clearly see the sideline judge on the Raider side run in, signal false start with the whistle in his mouth.
Yeah, and blowing it.
I can't say blowing it because I'm on, I wasn't there. But when you're running with the whistle in your mouth and you're going like this, Cisco, bro, hey, tell me that the ref ain't automatically blowing the whistle.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we've been to a lot of games, man, but false start and the ref running in, they are blowing the whistle at the same damn time.
Right.
Because they are not taught,
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. At this point, there's nothing we can do about it. But, something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. We're not the only team. I'll admit, I mean, the Super Bowl, I didn't give a shit who won. Honestly, I hate them both. Being from San Francisco, I can't stand the Niners, and obviously I can't stand the Chiefs. But the Chiefs were holding like crazy. And if I was a Niner fan, I'd be pissed because I saw someone told me, I didn't care. I didn't care. You know, I know Raider Nation was split. You know, oh, well, fuck the Chiefs. I don't want them winning in our locker room. I get it, but you know what? I don't know one single Kansas City Chief fan. So being born and raised in San Francisco, I didn't want to hear it for until next season. So I was like, fuck them. I'm not going to say I want the Chiefs to win. I would just say I want the Niners to lose. Oh, so you're going for the Chiefs? I didn't say that. I said I want the Niners to lose.
It's like I want both teams to lose.
Mhm. Yeah. Could it be an 89 earthquake, the A's and Giants, and an earthquake or something hit? And they just pause the game and everybody's got to evacuate? Then so be it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And all right, guys, hey, that's a little football with the Cisco Kid. We are now going to move over to our question and answers. So let's transition over to that really quick. All right, Cisco Kid, man. Now we've made it to the Q&A. All right, now we have some questions. A lot of stuff that's happened with the black hole. You know, a lot of things that are going on. And as you said, we're a large organization. We're not perfect, but we want to get it right. So we are using this platform to communicate with the Cisco kids. So a lot of your questions, guys, I'm going to answer, and we will eventually be going live. You know, like I said, the Cisco Kid will have people on. They'll have your club president on here. So if they have questions, they'll be able to ask them directly to the Cisco Kid, or you'll also have other people. But guys, question number 1. All right, and we are going to keep these anonymous due to the fact that I don't want to dime out people or anything like that, and I don't want people feeling that they're going to get repercussions. Okay, so all right. It says here, but the first question is going to come here. All right, Cisco, it says, yo, I have questions. It says, as everyone else, where's the chapter patches and chapter individual merch that has been promised for purchase for the past 2 years?
Yeah. That is a major hiccup. To this day, it's unsolved mysteries. We don't know how that link got the green light to go live where people could tap onto it and print. I mean, I was getting text messages. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? We talked about that, coming to fruition and having a potential launch date. I thought I missed it. So I went directly to my emails. Was there an email saying we were going live today? I didn't have it. I didn't have a text message in our text message group. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, let me. So obviously, I jumped on the phone, started making calls, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And this and that. So somebody did it. We don't know who, but yeah, and that was a major, major mistake. From what I understand, it's still in the works. We're doing bulk buying, from what I understand, was the last thing that I heard, and that was some time ago. So, honestly, we at this point, I don't know. I'm not the merchandise guy or involved in the merchandise, other than memberships and things that we are currently on our website. But I do understand that there are some members out there that did actually purchase. And from what I can remember, I think some did get credit. Some have not gotten credit yet. Some have gotten partial credit. So all I can say on that is to get with your chapter president, send them, if you have not gotten a credit yet, send them your order number, obviously your name, your order number, what you ordered, and the amount that your order was. And have that chapter president, I guess, get with you guys, the trustees, and I would like them all in one email from that particular chapter. So they're all together. It's just easier to organize them that way. And I'll filter it up myself to our fulfillment center. He can then check Shopify with the order number and name, match up quantities of what was ordered and the amounts that was charged. And we'll do our best to get those credits back to the people as fast as we can. But that is the solution as of right now. I know you guys much rather have the merchandise than a refund. I get it. I agree with you 1000%. But all I could say is just, bear with us. I know it's been about 2 years now. But at least we're this far. At least we're this far. You saw the web link. We're not just creating it just to create it for shits and giggles. It's actually going to happen. I do know that one of the things that were talked about in one of our meetings is that something fell through with one of the suppliers, and I can't remember if it was the flags or the patches, but one of those vendors that we were going to work with fell through. So we needed to find another one. So, but yeah, that's the information I have now. Currently, all I have for you. But we will be addressing that, hopefully sooner than later.
All right. So, guys, just to recap what Cisco just said, man. Basically, hey, they're still working on getting out the individual club merch. And if you did have and bought anything and still haven't got a refund, please contact your local club president and have them filter it up to their regional guy. So that way they can filter it up to Cisco and get you your refund. We just need that transaction number, the amount, and what was missing, so that way he can take care of you. All right.
Yeah.
So, other questions that came in, Cisco, excuse me, were that their club was having issues contacting their Modelo representative.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we doing
Very
to
valid
facilitate?
question. Yeah. So, well, obviously we partnered up now with Modelo, same team as Corona. We do have some new faces that have joined the team on their end that I am working with. There's actually 2 different individuals now, but they got different jobs. So one I have reached out to get a list for me. He does have a list of chapters and what cities they're in, and he's working on that list. But again, he doesn't work for us. He's just our sponsor, but he is doing his best to put that together. I'm hoping to get that sooner than later, but that is in the works. And hopefully moving forward, we'll just be able to do some simple adjusting. As you know, people do shift jobs, get promoted, get let go, leave the job for whatever reason. But as those things happen, we'll try and do our best to update that list once we receive that list. So that is in the works.
All right, perfect. So we are working on a list and putting it together, guys. And the last thing.
I will add this because it could be
Go ahead.
a future question, and it does tie into that. So in previous years, with Corona, it's the same thing, but it goes down to budgeting. Local reps in, let's say Seattle, for instance. Seattle had a great rep. They were able to get the Black Hole merchandise and Raider Modelo merchandise to ship to their or order for their particular Black Hole chapter. That this year has changed. So they are only being distributed in Nevada. And I'm working with them now to find a way to see if they can order more go to the higher ups and say, hey, look, this is what we were doing prior. Now we understand the budget cuts, this and that for each city. Since we're Nevada and we either order more and have it distributed, I don't know that I can't make that call. I don't work for Constellation Brands, but that was an idea that I brought to the table, and they
Okay.
can do it that way. Um, I did hoard some of the gear that we would typically give out at, at our whiskey tailgate and our different events. So I've mentioned this to a couple of chapter presidents and vice presidents that came on board or that came down. I just to make it fair, I gave them 5 shirts. I told them I'll give you 5 shirts. And until that depletes, I'll give you a couple of the Modelo black hole hats, some sunglasses, keychains, a couple of flags. I did get limited stuff. I'm hoping I'll be able to get more. So if that does run out and you guys come to Vegas, I'll be able to send you home with a goodie bag. So that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. So.
All right. Hey, guys. So you see it, man. You hear it. Cisco Kid is out there grabbing up merchandise. Club reps, if you guys need merch from TBH, there is extra merch, but you have to reach out and it's in limited supply. We don't make it. Okay. So guys, reach out to the Cisco Kid. Hey, we've gotten merchandise and I can verify that. And I'm on the western slope of Colorado. So guys, make sure you reach out to the Cisco Kid. Now, Cisco, one question came in was also with Woodson Whiskey. How is it that we work with Woodson Whiskey? How does it work for our club presidents, and how do they reach out to Woodson Whiskey, or who's our point of contact for them, so that way they can have Woodson Whiskey at their bar?
Yeah. Well, that is limited as well, but send an email to Javier. If you guys don't know his email, shoot it to me and I'll forward it up.
What we'll do is we'll post it right underneath Cisco. It's going to pop up. All right, guys, it should be popping up now. And when it pops up, there you go. Hey, guys, make sure you message Javier for Woodson Whiskey, baby. So,
Yeah.
All right, brother. One last question for the Cisco Kid before we let you go, because I know that you have stuff to do. You just got off work. You're a little bit tired, man. So, Cisco, we always say things are happening for the MC, for the larger clubs, for the bigger entity. What do we plan on doing for the smaller entities? How do we plan on supporting them, and what type of help are we gonna how are we gonna promote their events and stuff like that?
Oh man, I mean, like anything. I mean, we're a family, right? So you see it, share it. You may have a friend that's a Raider fan in another town or in that particular town that isn't aware of what's going on, because they may not be friends with somebody, and that just hey, marketing. It's just putting it out there. The more we share it, the more people are going to see it, get eyes on it, and know about it, and attend it, and make your event successful. A few of us do our best to share the things. I'm making it a point myself. I do miss some, but when I do get some, like the big one we got coming up, the Northern California and Nevada,
Yes, sir.
chapters are getting together next year. Obviously, that's my homeland, so I'm going to go home for that. I know they've already secured a location. It's going to be kind of like a black hole / car show kind of event. I think there's like 5 car clubs that are already involved, I believe.
Ooh.
We contacted, I got with bartender Danny, who is the president of the East Bay Area chapter. Got in contact with our old DJ Bumpin' Beto, who was our DJ back home in Oakland. He's juiced to DJ the event. And so, yeah, I'm sure we're going to be able to add some more things to it in the months to come leading up to that event. I'm super excited. Rachel, Rob's widow, and the girls heard about it and are excited, and they plan on attending. And I'm going to reach out to a few of the Black Hole OGs, and hopefully they'll be able to attend as well. And you guys, whoever attends, can definitely meet those guys. I'll introduce you to them, and we'll see. I got to get with Harry, see if there's a way he can make it and come out. Maybe he can bring the dummy that he used to throw in the up in the end zone in section 105, and have the dummy make a guest appearance. Maybe the dummy can sign some autographs and that. We'll see. We'll see.
No, that sounds like a fabulous event. And guys, the way that I can help in here at the Silver and Black Radio podcast and my crew can help is, guys, make sure that if you guys have an event, you tag the Cisco Kid, you tag the Silver and Black Radio podcast. We will share. Guys, we want you guys to have big, successful events. We want you guys to get out there and just build family and relationships and build great memories like the Cisco Kid has, and become a part of the family and become a part of the Silver and Black and become a part of TBH, baby, because it's all about CBH. It's all about the legacy. So, Cisco Kid, you got anything on the way out, my brother?
Man, just once again, thank you to everybody involved in the Silver and Black Radio podcast. I've been tuning in when I can. I can't watch full shows, but I chime in when I can, and I enjoy what's going on, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the sisterhood. I love it. Keep that going. And again, guys, I think you put my email up there. Email me. I'll get to them as quickly as I can, regarding questions and things like that you may need answers for. We addressed a couple of the questions, and I will get those answered and resolved for you as quick as I can. If I was in charge of Shopify and all that, I'd be getting it done myself, but we unfortunately have a guy that does that. So, but I'll definitely filter it up, and him and his team are on top of it. So, we'll get this thing fixed. It's just awareness. We need to know, closed mouths don't eat. So you just got to get the information to the right people, and hopefully this podcast will showcase that. And we'll get you fixed up and ready to go.
Absolutely. And guys, just so you guys remember, every Monday, the Cisco Kid will have a podcast out with us, releasing new information on the black hole, giving you guys the inside look from the Cisco Kid, and giving you guys any and all information related to TBH. So until next time, it's all about one nation. It's all about one team. It's all about the Raiders. Let's go.